To those that live in Italy, how is the situation right now with coronavirus and lockdown? Currently watching a university lesson from my bed, but my father went to work this morning. I'm in a region where the lockdown started officially today, so it's all pretty new. Let's hope people don't storm the grocery stores at it. Since a lot of people are mentioning it, there's no news about shortage of toilet paper and, at least in my area, no assault on grocery stores at it too. We can get out of our houses. We are asked to do so just for necessity like buying groceries. We have to have a good reason if we want to leave our town at it 3. Since people suggested me to do an after all the question I'm receiving, here you go. https www.reddit.com Rama comments guy living the first day of lockdown in Italy. I'm source share it medium web 2x https www.reddit.com Rama comments guy living the first day of lockdown in Italy. I'm source share it medium web 2x. High school student here. Schools are simply closed and the TV is full of ads about washing your hands and avoid contact with other people. Edit. I forgot to say that each morning we have approximately 3 hours of video lessons from our laptop. Basic Italian uni student with bad English here. Basically, in the past we used to cough to cover up a fart. Nowadays we fart to cover up a cough. I'm a nurse student in Italy. Right now I can't go to the university, I can't go to work, we shouldn't go out unless it's a necessity, so basically we need to stay home and finally finish our Netflix list. It may sound pretty cool for the first few days, but after a while it gets pretty depressing and boring. I got so bored that I cleaned everything at home. I live in Verona. I'm 19 years old living alone because my mother and my father took it in Milan, and for the first time I'm home alone for a month. Pretty nice though. I play GTA 5 with my friends like the old days, doing some indoor workout and experimenting with cooking. I'm becoming a good chef. The school is quite annoying but it's okay. I wake up at 7:30 and at 8 a.m. I start a 5 hours straight in front of my laptop for online lessons, and then I go cooking my lunch. I don't go out if not to buy some food and maybe some cigarettes because the situation it's not good. There is no space left in the intensive therapy, so if I get really sick, they would have to remove someone to save me since I would have better chance of surviving. This is why I almost never go out, once a week. I don't want to be the reason for someone death. Okay, I wrote cocking twice. Stop memeing at me. I'm Italian, okay? I finally have time to mod Skyrim. I have a daughter living in Saronno, but she works in Milano. She is housebound, on lockdown. Her courses are being done via Skype. Her employer has asked her not to come to work. She is not allowed to leave her house unless it is an emergency, which I hope never happens. She says there has been quite a bit of panic buying at the supermarkets. All the restaurants are pretty much empty, however they are allowed to be open between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. People who are seated should have at least a 1-meter distance between them at restaurants. Tourist areas, e.g. Duomo and Milano, are devoid of almost anybody. All school and universities remain closed. All sporting or any kind of events have been suspended. Ski resorts are closed, the same for cinemas, theaters, discos. All church services have been suspended. Whilst the measures may seem extreme, Italy has been the hardest hit worldwide besides for China, so it's necessary to curb travel and cultural activities to stop the spread of the virus. There will likely be a baby boom in 9 months. I'm a university student, and since last week we have been doing lessons via Microsoft Teams or Google Classrooms. I don't really like these methods, but it's the only alternative, so there's a fair amount of psychosis between a big chunk of the population. Supermarkets have been raided overnight. We are advised to not leave our houses unless it's necessary, but you can fill a form on your own to certify that you need to go to work, so basically everyone is running around without a real examination of that form because literally anyone can do that. The only thing that has been really impacted by this is nightlife and sports, since every league of every sport is suspended until April #X200B. Edit, typos. Sorry for asking a question here as I am not exactly answering yours up. Are tourists allowed to fly out of Italy or are they supposed to stay in Italy until the lockdown is over? Edit, Sloth. Thanks for the award. Thanks everyone else for your comments. I asked this question because a colleague of mine flew in on Sunday with their family to northwest Italy for a week-long skiing holiday. They didn't want to lose the money so they went. I have been made aware that they're being sent back today itself and the rest of their trip was refunded. They are going to self-isolate for 2 weeks, but I do agree with the ones who mentioned about infecting others on their way home from the airport. For a couch potato like me, it's awesome. I can watch my uni lessons online and in my free time play a duck ton of video games or work out a little bit. Also, I think we're allowed to leave and get some fresh air. So except for the deadly virus thing, everything is okay. I've been locked in my house with my 2 sisters and my mother for 2 weeks and I still have a month ahead of me. PLSN help. Edit. To be clear, I was joking. I'm perfectly fine. This situation is not that bad. We can go out to buy groceries or to work. The big problems are that some people are losing their jobs and how the economy will be affected, now and in the aftermath. I'm a final year medic and I'm graduating on Thursday over Skype. I am a doctor who works at one of the largest hospitals in Rome. The situation seems much worse than reported in the news. We are scared, but we continue to go to work for a sense of responsibility by turning. We do not have suitable safeguards for our protection, such as FFP3 masks. Why did it get so bad in Italy, anyway? It seems so disproportionate and random that Italy of all places got slammed by this disease. Since yesterday night, every town is locked down. I cannot move 5 kilometers without a proper reason, work, or a relative very sick and so on, otherwise I could get arrested. The government, immediately backed up by lots of celebrities, is basically saying please, stay home. Our emergency departments in the hospitals are collapsing. Literally, chemos or surgeries that are not urgent are being delayed. How's a chemo not urgent? Bars and restaurants can only open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's been over a month that places where big number of people could meet have been closed: discos, sports centers, clubs, schools and universities. It's crazy. I am 14 and live in Italy. It's not bad. I don't have to go to school, but I still have to do homework, but it's not too much. We will have virtual lesson this week. I have finally time to read Plato's Republic, and I can finally get better at doing the Rubik's Cube. I have a lot of free time, so I joined the Conlanging Discord to learn something new. This will last until 3 April and I'm really happy about it. South Italy here. I'm waiting for the virus to spread as in northern Italy, if not worse. A lot of idiots rushed south to their mommy after the government declared the region of Lombardia red zone, and here the people seems to not understand the situation. Yesterday morning there were a lot of people strolling around not caring about what's happening. Yesterday night the Prime Minister declared all Italy red zone, and a lot of people rushed to 247 stores to buy food. I decided to stay at home for at least a week, but my parents and the parents of my friends are going around the city like it's not their problem. There will be another infection peak here in the southern Italy in a few days. We have an hashtag running on Twitter, hashtag Io sto a casa. It basically means I stay home. People only travel alone and maintain a 1 meter safe distance. We have to change life habits drastically for 2 weeks to keep the virus from spreading. It worked in Wuhan, we hope it works here as well. If you're a good citizen and you don't have a job, it's hard to tell. For example, I only poke my nose out of the house to go to the grocery store, and I can tell you there is no big problem there. Sometimes there are empty shelves, but it's not something surreal. Though if you look at the streets, there are so few people, some wearing masks, with no social interaction. It's weird. And the fact you don't have to go to school or university, and you can't even move out normally, makes this whole thing feel weird as duck. It's like time has stopped. I'm a student who lives in Emilia-Romagna. Schools have been closed for 3 weeks, there is no one hanging out, everyone is cooped up in their houses. NGL, this looks like a post-apocalyptic scenario. People are starting to have relatives with the virus. My aunt, for example, has the virus. In every town there are a few infected. We can't move from a town to another, unless we have a specific permission. For example, we can if we have to go to work. Every day we use Google Meet to make online video calls with our teachers and classmates, so we keep studying and doing our programs even if we are closed in our houses. Many people are terrified, while many are chilling way too much, especially in the southern regions, because the virus has just started spreading there, while here in the northern regions there are already thousands of infected. Sorry for my bad English, I hope this comment answered your questions.